Thank you, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Oakland, California. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the New England Patriots and the Oakland Raiders. Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Now a first carry for Giovani Bernard. Oh, and now he bowls him over. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On second down, here's Taylor. The Pats are going to get there. Down he goes. Derek Rivers in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10. They were able to win last week despite him being sacked 4 times. They might need to tighten the reins a little bit, or this one may not end in another victory.
You're right about that. They can't count on just winning the game no matter what happens. They can't let the accumulation of hits and harassment in the pocket get to their quarterback. Got to stop that, give him clean lanes to throw the football, and let him have a good...
And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. Shaq Lawson in there to drop him, and back-to-back sacks now bring up 4th and long. Here now, Johnny Townsend, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. He punted 5 times in the win last week as this one's away. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. On the ground, this is Derrick Henry. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
On second down, here's Henry. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. On the tackle that time, Bruce Irvin.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. Throwing on 3rd. Goff. He's going to go for a big play. He's got a man. Complete. A gain of 26 on the 3rd down conversion.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18. The Patriots into the red zone for the first time. 1st and 10 right at the 20. Again to Henry. No dice this go around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. To throw on 2nd down is gone. And that's incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. They'll fake the give. Now Goff. Escaping the pressure right. And he will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. He had a great read there from his free safety position. And, Charles, you know with those guys, it's all about their eyes. They have to be laser-focused.
Yeah, I had to fake my way through it when I was playing, but now I can see exactly what they're doing. And on that play, he obviously had no presence to feel like he's being pushed for a pass. And without that, that allowed him to get up to the line of scrimmage and hold him to no gain.
He'll get it up the middle. And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
Trying to punch it in with Henry. And he gets halfway there, down to the 1-yard line. Only a yard there, so it brings up 4th and goal.
There are certain drives in a game where anything less than a touchdown that caps it feels like an absolute disappointment. This is one of those drives.
The offense is staying out there. Here we go on 4th and goal from the 1. They'll run for it with Henry, and he's not going to get in. They stop him at the 1. The big back Derrick Henry held out of the end zone, and the Raiders hang tough down near the goal line. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. They'll start on the ground here with Bernard. And he's able to get this across the 10 before being taken down. They needed some breathing room. He gave it to him. 11 yards and a 1st down.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy's setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
Out from the shadows of their goal line, here's 1st and 10 from the 11. back to him on first down. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. A Raider first down, 17 yards.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
On the ground, it's Thompson. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. Now they'll throw with Taylor. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. From the shotgun, it's Taylor. Uses the spin. He completes it to Tate. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. So the Patriots coming out now. And last time, they had it 4th and goal, rolled the dice, didn't get it. Now they've got to put that behind them, try to put together another drive.
A simple tip of the cap, a nod of the head to the defense. Congratulations, you got us last time. But you didn't hold us the whole time. We got down to position. We were able to be in position to score. Let's go ahead and attack again. Continue to have that kind of confidence. Not worry about the one play that didn't allow them to get into the end zone.
And this time they'll be trying to get it into the end zone. We'll see what they do. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Here they come, 2nd and 10 now from the 10. Now a handoff to Henry. And not much there at all, as he'll get this only up to about the 11. Eddie Vanderdoes there on the stop.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
From the gun on third down, Goff. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on third down. Now, if you're going to get rid of it, you better get outside the pocket.
Yeah, you have to get outside of that tackle-to-tackle box, right? Get out there, and then you can do it legally, but he wasn't able to do so, and they end up losing the down as well.
And now Oakland ready to take the field. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
The drive starts with a handoff to Bernard. And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. The linebacker Ryan Shazier there to make the tackle.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 14 yards is the pickup there at a Raider first.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
On first down, it's Taylor. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near.
And he goes down. It's a Patriot sack. Ryan Shazier in from his linebacker's spot. He's able to drop him for a loss of about 10. Sacks a growing theme in this first half. This is second and long. From the gun, it's Taylor. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
Single. Ready. Flag 32. Flag 32.
Now Taylor. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
The Patriots offense now, they work their way back onto the field. And a big no-no last time, a safety to make this score 2-0 where we stand now. So see if they can atone for that mistake.
You give up points. But on the flip side, the positive side, after you punted the ball away or kicked it away,
defense held.
Defense held for you. So there's a little bit of relief there. Now they know they can get back out on the field, run their offense, and try to put their defense in a bad spot again.
Justin Ellis in on the stop.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Carry now for Derrick Henry. And he'll lose yardage and be down at the 7-yard line. He lost 2 there, and it's third down. They'll fake the handoff. Now Goff. Going deep here for Allen. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down. So a minute 56 to play in this first half. Here's Ryan Allen now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Returning, it's Benjamin. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the Raiders will take over now, 1st and 10. An update from Denver. The Jets out to the early lead. I have a feeling that one's going to stay tight throughout. We'll continue to monitor. A good starting spot for the Raiders as they come up 1st and 10. They'll begin here with Bernard. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. On second down, Taylor's throw incomplete. You got a young quarterback. Maybe that's just an example of a growing pain for him.
I think you're right about that because when the game starts to move fast and it moves quickly on him, a lot of times they fall back on what they know best, their arm. He's slinging it on this one. Had a wide-open target, but didn't have
the Pats are going to get there. Down he goes.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Here now, Johnny Townsend, as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. Now the Patriot offense set to take over again. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. They'll start on the ground. It's Derrick Henry. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down. Now the Patriots moving quickly, hustling up to the line. Derrick Henry. And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. Now whistles, and the Raiders are going to signal for a timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. New England on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Tackle, but then quickly brought down. Now the Raiders are going to use another timeout here as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. The Raiders offense now, they trot back out. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Taken down, losing yardage back at the 9-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12.
Here we go. Red 38.
And he's got room. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. I That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
This time Taylor will throw. Flush to his right. Over the middle, complete to Tate. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. Due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the third quarter. So we've reached halftime here in Oakland with the Raiders on top. That'll be taken in the end zone. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. Now the Patriots offense, they work their way back out onto the field. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. On second down, here's Goff. And his throw here's incomplete. He was trying to get that one to Allen that time, and it's third down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. Off play action. Here's Goff. Eluding the pressure right. On the run, he'll let it go deep. Right sideline. And a shot taken on third down, unsuccessful. Fourth down now.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
Allen on the punt as he gets this one away. So here comes the Raiders offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
Ready. 319. 319. Slow.
On the toss, Bernard. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
Any team that runs the toss and runs it successfully, that means they win the battle on the edges. That means you seal the edge in order to let your back get to the corner. They got it done there for a very nice game.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. On 1st and 10, it's Taylor. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. Second and 10, it's Taylor again. And he goes down. It's a Patriots sack. Derek Rivers in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
We are seeing two really confident defenses imposing their will on these offenses in this game.
Yeah, absolutely, going toe for toe. Just curious if one of these offenses can wake up a little bit.
If there's any way they can find something that can pop, something big to knock them back on their heels.
Flag 32.
3rd and long, it's Taylor. And this one is incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Now the Patriots gearing up to go now. Now, if you're a fan of punting, and I know that not many people are, but this game kind of turning into one for you.
Well, it's okay if it's a skills contest, right? We're really into it then, but not during the course of an actual game. This has turned into a field position game, though. Sometimes the better punter may actually determine the outcome.
They'll try and get the run game going. This is Henry. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. They'll run it again with Henry. And a nice gain there as he'll be taken down just shy of the 20. So they get half of what they needed. It'll be 3rd and 6 upcoming.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. And his first throw since coming in is incomplete. Another drive comes and goes. Still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. You got to keep pounding away.
And now here come the Raiders. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, you know, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Nowhere to go that time. Might have gotten a yard up to the 25.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd down, Taylor. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Nickel Roby-Coleman. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line. Cooper was the target there.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively. Not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
Even with him busting through the contact, he'll still be stopped just inside the 35. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. Henry will get it. He's been busy today. Down to the 30 after a gain of 3.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Here we go.
On 3rd down, it's White, and he'll get this one down to about the 27. 3 yards won't be enough here as that'll bring up 4th down.
Now, that was a big-time play by the defense. They as well knew where the first down line was, and they didn't let them get anywhere near it.
And Gostkowski's kick is good. And they will jump out in front here with a very unusual scoreline of 3-2. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Slow.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. And there on the tackle, Shaq Lawson. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle. That's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. On 3rd down, Taylor. Hard throw, incomplete.
The frustration is definitely setting in because they've thrown it to him over and over, unable to come up with a catch thus far.
I think he knew he would have his challenges against his secondary. I don't think he saw a goose egg at this point in the game. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. The Patriot offense now set to come back out onto the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense.
Yep,
run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
Come on, let's go. What? 90. What? 90.
And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 11, he goes down. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
And not much here as he'll get it to the 11, maybe the 12-yard line. Only a yard there on the keeper, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd down.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing him further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really...
New England on 3rd down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This is 3rd and 11.
Ohio. Flex round. Let's go. Brad 38.
From the shotgun, here's Downs. And a dump off to White. And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down. I hate to surrender the football when you're nursing a slim lead, but they're going to have to punt it away. Trust that defense.
It's the right play at this stage of the game as well. You don't need to press it here because you do have that little bit of a cushion, and you count on your D to make it stand up.
The Raiders offense now making their way back out onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Right off the bat, it's a 1st down to start the drive, 12 yards. Taylor now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10.
Slow.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Z.
Now Taylor to throw on 2nd down. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away, and now it's 3rd. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
Taylor now on 3rd down. Flushed out right. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a 1st down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there. That brings up 4th.
Even though that one was incomplete, you could see the training that went into that play. He gets out of the pocket, ends up moving to his right. All he's trying to do, though, extend the life of the play. Keep it alive, hoping someone would pop free.
Was able to take a pretty good shot with a deep ball, but incomplete. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game, and you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets 1st downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off near the 26. When you're on your own 1-yard line like they were, oftentimes you're thinking just run on any down, get some space. There they elect to throw it. It cost them.
You get the sense that they were banking on the element of surprise, right? Everyone expects you to run it there. Let's take a shot. Let's throw it. Try and create some space, some room. And it went awry, didn't it?
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
So if I'm an offensive coordinator, there's one thing that I know for sure. This is one of the top 5 teams in the NFL against the run. So when I look at my playlist, I'm probably thinking about throwing it.
Moved back to the 10. They'll try on 2nd and goal here.
319.
Now it's Taylor. This will be caught just inside the 10. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. Only able to pick up 2, and that leads us to 3rd and goal.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. Have to kick this field goal, don't you?
No question about it. Look at the clock. Look at the situation. Kick the field goal.
And Vinatieri's kick is good. And with that, they will move ahead by 2 here in the 4th. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing? And when you're facing a deficit on the scoreboard, you're just looking for something to get you right back into the game, and that's the spark that they were looking for. They got it with that big return.
We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. Now it's Henry. And this will be taken across midfield and into Raider territory. Obi Melifonwu with the tackle.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on 1st down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
Come on, let's go. Grand 38. Grand 38. Ohio. Ohio.
Dobbs now on 2nd down. The 20. Henry's got it out on the left side. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. They give him a gain of 38. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. And the question now, how do they want to work the clock here on 1st and goal? A field goal would give them the late lead. They'll try and run forward with Henry. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ballgame. Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal. He's going to get it running right. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. Here's Henry. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And Gostkowski's kick is good. And they have taken the lead here in the final 2 minutes. Big kick right there to give them the lead in the 4th, but there is still time left for a final drive.
Did they score too soon? Post-game will tell us, right? Depending on what happens on this drive, that's how we'll analyze it. If the other team scores, they scored too soon. If they somehow hold on, they managed the clock exactly right.
They'll look to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Back to throw. And that is incomplete. Back-to-back big plays defensively. First the sack. Now they force the incompletion on 3rd and long. Things looking pretty good for them.
And this is where they have to be careful, because they've got the momentum going their way. They will be really amped up to get to the quarterback. Look out. Draw, screen, something that can be used against them.
back to throw. And Tate's got it. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Obviously a big first down right there.
Yeah, they still got to hustle. They got to get up to the line of scrimmage and get set. But I don't think necessarily you need to spike it. But they've got to continue to move quickly.
He's back to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Derek Rivers in there to drop him as the clock continues to roll. He'll look to throw. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. Give him 8 on the play, and they'll be facing a 3rd and 12. Here's Taylor. It's brought in left side by Tate. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. And a big 32-yard play on 3rd. And he did exactly what they needed him to do, Charles. Got out of bounds. They have no timeouts.
And they knew that before the play even began. Still executed it. How many times have we seen it happen where you know it, get a guy still looking for a timeout or trying to stay in bounds? He got it done.
And I don't know what more you can say about Adam Vinatieri in that career. Maybe the best to ever do this.
Let's be honest. Does anything faze him? Snow, playoff games, Super Bowls. Just watching this made me nervous, but he never broke a sweat.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. And now out come the Patriots. Look at the clock. Everyone knows the situation. Probably time here for one final play.
And we know what that play is going to be. It's got to be some sort of Hail Mary, throwing it towards the end zone and hoping someone can catch it or catch it off of a tip. Think back to 2015. Didn't we see Green Bay pull that off twice in the season? Once in the regular season, once in the playoffs. So stranger things have happened. It'll be interesting to see what the defensive strategy is about who they put on the field to try and knock that ball away.
Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still, you were wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for the Raiders, their strong September has carried over to October as they move to 5-0. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the New Orleans Saints. Meanwhile, for New England, the loss will move them back to 3-2 on the year. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves next week at home against San Francisco. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.